Greetings, I'm Eric the Red. This is Crypto for the Caffeinated. Let's get started, shall we? In the last video, we unboxed and took a look at this HP 750 watt gold server power supply, which is going to be going into this JANK-ASS mining rig to let me run all 6 cards that I have at once, plus maybe some more, give us a little future proofing, as it were. But as it stands, I have to keep one of these cards unplugged at all times because this 600 watt power supply just does not have the juice to power the two 1066 gigs as well as all 4 1050s and everything else on the board. It just ain't gonna happen. In today's video, we are going to try to find a place within what limited real estate is left in this case to mount and house this new power supply alongside everything else that's already in the board so that it can all live together in perfect harmony. And since I don't trust my main camera to continue running throughout this whole thing, we're going to be jumping around a bit using the GoPro as the main camera and our $50 Yi Discovery as sort of our B cam. Now this camera here doesn't have the best battery life, so this may cut out at some point, but at least we've got the GoPro, so we've got something to fall back on. So here it is. This is what we're working on. I know you've already seen this, but why not look a little more? So the first thing we can do is we can remove this SSD. This is no longer necessary. It's no longer plugged into anything because I have cloned this drive onto an M.2 that you may be able to see down there and freed up the last remaining SATA power cable so that we could put the 6th card into this machine. So what we're going to do now, first off, is remove this SSD because we no longer need it to be there. One other thing worth noting, which is also not entirely a surprise, but one of these 4 fans that I got with this case is already starting to die. The bearings are bad. These are crap fans to begin with, so I may, at some point in the near future, be sourcing some higher quality fans. Because as much as I like to rank on them in general, they do a really good job of keeping these cards cool, and to the point where they don't really, the cards don't necessarily need to run their own fans, which is great in terms of the longevity of the card. What we've got down here is we've got this one bolt, this one screw, and that's really the one thing that's holding this SSD into the case. So the removal of this is going to be pretty much as simple as can be. Oh, I did not think this through. But since when do I? When do I think things through? Oh, wait. We may be able to make it work with one of these little guys. I don't have the big Phillips in here, but I may be able to at least get this off using the flathead. Ha ha ha. There we go. Where there's a will, there's a way. All right. SSD is out, and the screw is out. Boom, there we go. Now we've got a spare 100 gig SSD for another build. But another build is for another day. So now that that's out, we can disconnect this SATA cable that we are no longer using as well. We're just going to get in here and push that in, pull that out. Now we can remove this, and we're done with it for now. So we've done a pretty good job of freeing up some space here along the back of the motherboard, which is good. But I don't know if that's going to be enough space for what we need. And also in terms of mounting. As far as I know, there's no hard and fast way that this has to go into a case. So I'm thinking, maybe if I do this so you can see a little better, I'm thinking if we lay it sideways, we may be able to sort of hook it around the case here. And get some zip ties around it to just sort of hold it in place. And get it back here. That just might work. That just might do it. So we may just need to loosen some of this stuff. So let's unplug that. Let's unplug that. All right, so we're going to remove the... Are we going to? I think we're going to. Remove the SATA connectors on that riser and let's see if we... Let's try not to overthink this. Just out of sheer curiosity, what if we were to do this? That could work. If we just wrap around here. You know, I think I may like that idea better, because it seems to be fairly secure if we do it like that. By doing it this way, if we get that mounted securely, we will also benefit from airflow from this fan to help keep this cool. So I think that may be what we try to do. So it's this fan back here that's crap the bed. So I've got that unplugged, and we'll worry about that at some point in the future. But I think this is going to be the easiest layout right now for what I'm trying to do. So let's get some zip ties together and see if this is a viable option for us. Won't that be a glorious day? So let's go straight down the back. Make sure we're not touching anything else. I got that. Put that in there. Put that there. Well, seems pretty secure. 2 more zip ties, and I apologize you can't see what I'm doing. See what I can do here. I have no idea if you're even going to be able to see this, but at least get a nice view of my unfinished ceiling in all its lovely glory. And we'll try to do this the same way. Try to make it look even. That is pretty damn snug. Let's get in there with some pliers and just try to get a few more clicks on it. You know, that really ain't going anywhere. That's that's pretty good. I think I'm happy with that for this purpose, but you know what? They're mine. I can buy new ones. There's that and that. There's that and that. That doesn't look too bad. We'll have a power cable right here, but we can go out and around. Sort of group that together with that. But yeah, I am pleased with this. So now, we can deal with our power management back here. I don't like the fact that these are so long, but yeah, well, we'll do what we can with what we've got. We'll make it work. Try to just take one of these. I think I have 5 cables total, maybe. So let's see if we can just take one. Do one at a time. Okay. So as we can see, clearly, we have an 8-pin on one side and 6 on the other. So we can use the 6 right here in the breakout board, and then the 8, which we can move that so it can be a 6. So if we're using it to replace a riser, which is 6, we can take one of these pairs out of the way, which is fine. And if we're using it to power, come on. And I like there's little rails in there to hold it steady. And if we use it to power an 8-pin part in a video card like that, we can do that as well. I'm going to use this guy to power my 1060s. If we can take this line that was on the 1060s before, and then just put these, have these in the risers, these 1060s, I think we'll be in pretty good shape. So I don't think you'll be able to see this. Ugh, that scared the crap out of me. But I can see it, and that's all that matters. Even though I can only kind of see it. There we go. That was easy. This probably won't be. Alright, we'll go like this. It's in there. So you've got these 2 risers powered by the EVGA power supply, which is great. So this will mean all of our risers are powered by the main power supply, but that the additional power that the 1060s call for, stop it, will come from the server power supply. And any additional cards I'm able to squeeze in here, it'll be the same story. So these 2 will remain free. Yeah, I think that's going to work great, because now we have these 2 SATA power connectors that if we need to, we can utilize down the road to power 2 additional risers for 2 additional cards, which will get their auxiliary power from the server supply. Great, I think I've got this figured out. I think I think this is going to be great. I'll take we got that there. And that to there. It's about making money. It's not about looking good. If it can look good, awesome. But at the end of the day, it is about making money. So, as long as it's functional, then I'm happy. Alright, there's that. If I cinch these up here, then I can put a zip tie on those, and they're at least cleaned up. Oh, those taste terrible. Don't put zip ties in your mouth, kids. There. There's that. There we go. We just gotta clean that up. And I think that's it. I think everything is plugged in. Everything has power. We've got room to spare. That is in there snug and securely. That's not going anywhere. Perfect. Well, I'm very happy with how this came together. This was a lot smoother of a process than I thought it was going to be. So I will power this guy up, see if it works, and if it does, fantastic. And if it doesn't, then we'll be back. But if not, and this is the end of the video, then I'm Eric the Red. This has been Crypto for the Caffeinated. Stay caffeinated, stay mining. As you can see in here, we are now running. We've got all 6 cards active. As you can see, the cards aren't spinning because they don't need to, because we've got these blower fans. That's a crappy dead one, but we're not going to worry about that. If you look back here, see the light of life on our server power supply, which is providing us auxiliary power for our twin 1060s. And if we go down here, you can see that we're pulling 560, 570 watts, give or take, off of this whole system. So, as you can see, it was a bit much for that single 600 watt power supply we had in there. But now, we got some of the load taken off of him, and we're putting some of the work onto our server supply. And up here, as you can see, we're running all 6 of our cards. GPU 1 and 4 are our 1060s, which are dual mining Dagger Hashimoto and Decred at a combined around 20,000 Satoshi. Then cards 2, 3, 5, and 6 are our 4 1050s, which are doing Equihash and Kryptonite V7 at a combined 18,000, about 19,000 Satoshi. So, we're running. We're in the back room. We're just shy of 40,000. There we go, 40,000 Satoshi per day on this one rig. I do have one other card running, which is an RX 560, which is running in the gaming machine out in the other room. That will be joined in short order by another RX 560 in the next couple of days. So I'm going to slowly build that into an AMD machine. We've got our full 6-card NVIDIA rig here, cranking away, and I'm pretty happy with it.